What one piece of advice would you give to not necessarily your customers, but customers of small businesses? Because I feel like customers also sometimes need to be educated when you're dealing with a small business, you know.
Yes. I think a lot of people, maybe more now, they have the customer, the client, whoever it might be, has more understanding possibly now because of the last year that we've all been at home, where we've actually been encouraged to create in some shape or form. And I think maybe some of the customers that I have now and the people that I talk to are very considerate as to the amount of time things take to make or put together. Because when you're buying something and you see this beautiful piece of artwork, unless you're really in that world or experiencing it, you probably don't fully understand the passion, the time, the hours, the failures, the successes that go into that piece of work. So I think customers now definitely have more aware as to time, processes, the beauty, the slog, the excitement of things that are actually handcrafted, handmade, with love and time and care. And I think also kindness, because a lot of my work that I send out is beautifully packaged. It's when I'm packaging, there is my happy dance going on inside. You may not see it on my face or what I'm doing, but there is a really lovely warmth within me as I'm packaging, as I'm writing a note. And also all my work goes out with the raw sample, goes out with a sample.
Oh, that's a good one. Well, if they're customers of a small business, they're already thumbs up because they're supporting small businesses. But yeah, I think it's fantastic if you can work, buy from a small business. I would just say, tell other people. In all honesty, to support a small business, you don't even have to spend money. All you've got to do is share the business with them. So by sharing this podcast, say that I'm sharing the podcast.
Nice plug.
You're helping. Rachel, you're helping me. You're helping lots of different people. So even if someone you know or a small business that you support is sharing something new they've made, think of the people who might like it and share it with them, because I think that's something that small businesses really struggle with. We don't have the capacity to pay for marketing, even doing kind of online adverts and being found in search engines. I've not gone down that route. I'll be really honest. I've not gone down that route because I can't afford it. I'm a small business, and I also think it's about the community of people. I want it to be word of mouth and grown that way. So yeah, if you're supporting a small business, just tell other people about what they do and about what you love. And also tell the small business owners what you love. Feedback is amazing, good and bad. It's amazing. Always just tell people what you think of what you've purchased.
Be patient with people. Something I'm seeing quite a lot at the moment is a kind of a lot of impatience from customers, and potentially sometimes a little bit of unfairness. And I say customer with myself included. I am a customer when I go and shop with another small business. We can all be both. But just remembering that, I think a lot of businesses have had a really, really, really difficult year, and a lot are just clinging on and doing what they can. They're going to be businesses that are slower shipping stuff out, are having problems with supply chains, or are taking longer to reply to emails and do customer service and all of that stuff. But it's not because they don't care. It's because they are literally trying to keep their business going and stay afloat. And I think sometimes we forget that because we're just because of consumerism and how we consume. We're so used to getting everything so immediately and so quickly that waiting any considerable amount of time or not getting an email back within 48 hours sets people off, and people get cross. And I just think we need kind of a bit of patience and a little bit of understanding at the moment.
My advice, I just wish that everybody would leave a review. It just helps so much if you could leave a review, because it helps with stuff. For example, I've got Etsy. I've got 264 sales so far, but I've only got 22 reviews.
If you're in the market to shop with small businesses, to look at the value that is put in to like what you're actually receiving. So I think it can be quite easy if you're sort of on a budget to be like, oh, I can get this cheaper somewhere elsewhere. But like you say, if you talk about the sharing and the content that you're getting and the interactions that you have, to see that as like a whole, the value that you get, and sort of quantify it in the, okay, if it's a t-shirt, so I could go to Primark and buy 5 t-shirts, or I could buy this one t-shirt and it will bring me the joy of knowing like all the work that went into it. It will bring the joy of this individual person, and there you can have that interaction. And yeah, I think it's definitely a very specific act to buy from a small business. I think that it's so easy to buy things online from like big corporations that sell everything. Like you can get everything you want from a big corporation. Like it's so easy. So it's quite a specific act to be like, no, I'm going to find a small business that's just making things, and to make that decision to like support an individual that maybe you don't know if it's going to like live up to your expectations. You have to have that trust in them. Yeah, so I don't know if that's advice, but I think, yeah, just I guess my advice is to sort of consider other options. If you're in the market to buy a thing, is there other options from small businesses that you can support instead of the big corporation?
Try not to bargain with prices, because it's like, again, we have this thing, it's be a good human, really. You know, we don't have the support of a HR team or legal or anything like that, and all we want to do is to provide a good service or a good product. So it's just, good manners. It's just as a customer, I just think good manners is, if you can be a good human, and good manners is great. And just support small businesses, whether that's online or locally. That's sustainability.
Yes, I think when you're connecting with small business, it's all about the personal service, isn't it? Again, it comes down to the chemistry. It comes down to really getting to know that person, that individual. And, whether you do that by following them on social media or, connecting with them in another way through some sort of network or however, it's the building of the relationship that really matters. Because when you buy from a small business, you have the opportunity to really pick and choose so that you get the right fit for you.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're buying from a small business, you are paying their rent, you're paying their bills, you're putting the clothes on their children's backs. You're not just a profit margin. You're a wonder. So when you see that person on that store like me smiling at you and going, "Oh, thank you so much," it really is meant, and it's so important. We wouldn't be here. Britain is a country of small businesses. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for those wonderful customers buying small and buying local.
Definitely, and it keeps all that good feeling going, because you're gonna feel more inspired, and then you can create new things and serve your customer.
And in a place like Cornwall as well, there are so many self-employed people, because there aren't giant corporations down here. A lot of people are now moving down and working from home on computers, but for those who can't do that, there is very little opportunity to do something satisfying, and working for yourself is so satisfying. And so supporting local business and keeping us in Cornwall rather than all becoming holiday homes is amazing.
Definitely. It has a really big impact when you decide to spend that pound with a small business. We all do a happy dance.